Hey folks, Mike King from Profiling Evil. Last night, I took a few minutes and tried to talk a little bit about the Delphi case. And frankly, I made some mistakes on it. Thanks to you, I received some comments back that helped me clarify a couple of things. And again, in the only defense I have, I relied upon public media reports for much of the information that I used. But I took time afterward, and at the prompting of one of you, my viewers, went and listened to a recording last night that Gray Hughes did with Kelsey German, the sister of one of the two children that were murdered. Learned a lot there that was really helpful, and frankly, just proves how difficult it is to rely upon public reports as people try to push information out, including me. But I wanted to share with you what I learned last night and clarify a couple of things. And I've updated the story maps, so you'll have to go to profilingevil.com to get the story map link. And in the original broadcast from last night, I'll update that link there. But the thing that I thought was so significant that I learned last night was, as we look at this community of Delphi, there were a couple of things that I didn't understand originally. Based on media reports, I had Kelsey dropping off the girls in this parking lot to the west of SR 25. After listening to her and actually getting a text from Kelsey last night, she actually dropped them off and I'm going to just kind of show this in a way that maybe makes better sense, but she dropped them off at a parking lot that was much closer to the bridge. In fact, if we zoom in on that parking lot, a couple of things that I thought were significant is, number one, as the computer catches up here, we'll see that there's a rather large drop off to the west of the parking area. But then as we follow the trail to the bridge, it's pretty clear that it's a much shorter distance than I was originally discussing. And again, we can see as we go through that the terrain here and how far down it was to the river. But then when we get to the bridge, there were a couple of things that I flat was wrong on, and thanks to you for pointing those out. It appears that the girls were on the south side of the bridge when they took the photograph. And according to Kelsey's comments last night on Gray's channel, the suspect was actually located to the south here, down near the road. Now, the thing that really changed everything for me was, again, I went back and looked at the Indiana State Police website. They still are saying that the girls were found a half a mile from the bridge, which would have put them up in this area right here. And I had a real difficult time with that, and frankly didn't believe that the suspect would walk the girls that far in order to murder them. In reality, the crime scene, as shown here, according to Kelsey and the report that I saw last night, was below the cemetery, and the cemetery is located right here. And it was on the north side of the river, which means that the suspect would have had to have walked the girls across and then crossed over the river. Now, there was a personal item, according to Gray, found on this side, and I don't know where he got that information. I'm not disputing it because, frankly, he was really right on a lot of things as he talked to Kelsey. But the crime scene, they would have had to cross the river and was on the north side of the river. That really does change everything, in my opinion, as far as this suspect. It is much more probable that he would, in fact, go that short distance. And it's hard to know what happened. Maybe the girls made a break for it and went across the river, and he pursued them to that point, and that's where the assault actually happens, which leads to the homicide. I don't know, but bottom line is, it all of a sudden made much more sense. So as you look at my earlier video, please take that into account, and then recognize that the website, I mean um, story map has been updated to reflect this. I hope that it's somehow helpful. And again, today's the fourth anniversary of when the children were discovered, which is an important date, because the idea behind all of this, from my opinion, is allow police to do their job. And if you remember yesterday, I talked about how the police have suggested that too many people have focused on individuals without really any evidence to back it up, and frankly, that creates problems for the investigation. This is about law enforcement doing their job, and our job is to keep these kids in the public eye in hopes that somebody that saw something or heard something or knows something will step up and come forward. So, with that, accept my apologies and thank you for reaching out and sharing that information. And I'll do a better job of trying to get more information. I move pretty slowly because I like to be fact driven, and frankly, I missed the boat on this one. So thanks a lot, and have a great day.